In East Africa, most farmers live in areas that are actually pretty good for farming, but that also means that there are a lot of people crowded into that small area. So farms tend to be very, very small. The average is probably about 1 or 2 acres in size. So farmers are growing corn and beans on their small plots along with vegetables and selling their products mostly locally. So their incomes are small and their farms are small. New Tools for African Farmers project is based on the human-centered design approach. And what human-centered design is basically reversing the whole design process and asking the user, in this case the farmer, to design hand tools. The main collaborators are, at this point, Michigan State University, engineering students, engineering faculty, and with the College of Communication Arts and Sciences. Rural Outreach Africa program. They have a philosophy of working with farmer groups on very small scale and very low input technologies. And then our other collaborator is Endatech, an engineering company in Tanzania that is owned and was really started by an MSU alumni. We have the farmer-centered design process, and then we have engineers using very modern technology, working with farmers to see what's possible that way. The first thing we did in the project was ask people what tools they're currently using. By far the most common tool is the hand hoe. It's the most important tool that farmers use. 80 or 90% of the farmers use the hand hoe for preparing their soil. A big problem with the hand hoe is that their backs start hurting. It's difficult to use because you are bending when you're using it. There's a big gap in technologies available for the smaller farmers. There hasn't been very much attention paid to the tools that farmers are using, even though it's very obvious that they're very inefficient for labor. It is literally backbreaking work. What we did was we just started from scratch and we asked farmers to think of their actual ideal tool that they could possibly use and to design it, to sketch it. And then working with metal workers and having the metal workers make different prototypes. So our goal is to have the manufacturers, the local metal workers, be able to make these tools and sell them to farmers and make a profit, and then to help the farmers with these improved tools. There was initial hesitation when we gave them pieces of paper and told them to start drawing. It happened very quickly that they came up with ideas and started drawing and got more and more excited as they were designing new tools and then presenting their ideas to the group.
This one is the wheel that will be going, and as I go like this, I have to be at the middle of the line.
One exciting thing that came out of the design workshops was that 3 different small groups came up with a similar idea, which just so happened that that was a type of tool that already exists, has already existed in the U.S. for years and years, and that is still being manufactured for small farmers. It's called the wheel hoe.
You are finished, you are waiting.
3 different groups came up with this. These designs that they're making will be made and they can try them out. So the excitement level has been incredible from the farmer's perspective. The project has taken off much faster than what we anticipated or what we planned. We still have to do the research to actually identify what is the impact of these new tools on labor efficiency, on health impacts of these tools, and also whether they're economical. We have to make sure that the new tools are actually ergonomic. So we need occupational therapists, human medicine, and public health people. We need to understand that before we can take this idea further and to other places. It's not that nobody has ever tried this before. This idea of turning it on its head and having the African farmers design the tools, I think, is what's making the difference between something that doesn't fit their needs, or it's too expensive, or that can't be locally sourced or locally fixed, compared to what we're doing, which is working both with the farmers and then with the local manufacturers to make sure that those barriers are not preventing people from making new tools that would really make a difference. The potential for this project to totally transform how small-scale farmers do their work is enormous.